guessing you want to learn how to make an Aurora crown, and that's why you clicked on this. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this. Hello and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Engel, and I don't usually wear a crown on my head, though I could, since it's the Queendom. Anyway, today we're gonna make this DIY Aurora crown. Let me show this to you. Obviously, I've come from the future. No, I've come from the past. I don't know, I'm confused. Obviously, I already made it, so you can see what it looks like here. I'm gonna show you how to make this yourself. It's actually way cheaper than you might think. A lot of times if you go online and you wanna buy a crown, they're either really expensive or they look like you got them at Party City. No offense, Party City, you're for Halloween, and most people don't take their costumes as seriously as I do. But this is actually really cheap to make. All this is some craft foam, some really, really cheap gems. You could make this way fancier just by adding Swarovski crystals, but when I went to go buy the gems, they were all out of Swarovski crystals, so we get the really, like, truly, this is like the cheapo version, and it'll still look just like this. And then you'll see that it's just hot glue, foam, gems, and a headband. That's it. Definitely under 10 to make this. Like, if you buy a huge thing of gems, like, yeah, but you've got gems that you can use forever. If you have some little gems laying around your house, you could do that. Piece of craft foam and a headband for probably like a few dollars. So awesome, you're gonna make your couple dollar crown, and you're ready to be Sleeping Beauty and take a nap after you make it. Let's get serious. So anyway, if you wanna make your own Sleeping Beauty DIY crown, let's just get started. To make your DIY Aurora crown, you need craft foam, a ruler, a headband, hot glue. You might also want E6000 if you like working with that. I'll use a little bit of both. Some gems or Swarovski crystals, scissors, a pen, gold paint, a paint sponge, or a paintbrush. You'll also need access to either a printer or an iPad because we're going to trace it from the iPad, or you can just print out and cut a paper out right from your printer. First off, place your craft foam in front of you like this. Measure halfway across your craft foam and draw a dot marking the middle at the top and the bottom. Then draw a line connecting the two to create a line right down the middle. Line up the center of the crown template with the dividing line, then trace the template onto the foam with your pen. I didn't go all the way to the end of the template because I want to taper the edge differently than the template. You can see how I did that here. It's totally up to you if you want to do that, but I think that's going to allow the crown to blend a little bit more seamlessly into the headband. Next, cut out the template. Make sure you do not cut down the center line. That would be cutting your crown in half, and I'm guessing you probably don't want to do that. I definitely do. Here's where you get to be creative. Arrange the gems where you want them to go, but don't glue them down just yet. This is just gonna be a guide so we can design a pattern around the gems. I'm basing mine off Aurora's crown that she wears at the parks, so I'll be using that as a reference. Feel free to do the same or design your own pattern. After you place the gems, use your pen to trace placeholders for them so you can save spaces to put the gems later. Once you're done, you can place the gems aside for now, because next, we're gonna use the pen to draw out where we want to put a raised pattern to decorate the crown and accent the gems. This whole drawing part is just a guideline, so don't worry. These won't be visible when we're all done, and you won't have pen marks all over your crown. Now take a hot glue gun and trace over top of those lines you just drew. If you've been around a while, you'll see, hey look, I got a new glue gun. Yeah, so those of you who've been here a while, you know last year I did a DIY gummy bear crayon video for back to school where I put crayons in my glue gun and made a big mess of it. And you'll see I got this really pretty new one. It's like a nice color and everything and clean, but I bought the wrong size of glue sticks. So I had to get the old hot glue gun back out, and it even still has some glitter glue left in here from our DIY locker decor video. Hang around and you'll get to see a pretty glue gun instead of this ugly one. Also, for some of the detailed areas, you might want to use a toothpick instead of gluing directly from the glue gun. It allows you a little bit more control and lets you do smaller lines more easily. Once your hot glue is dry, it's time to paint the whole thing gold. You may need to do a few coats to cover everything thoroughly. Spray painting it may get you a more even finish, but you can always use a brush or a sponge if you can't spray paint or you don't want to. I usually don't spray paint for videos because it's really hard to film doing that without making a mess since I am filming in my apartment. Once all of your coats are dry, it's time to add the jewels. So attach your rhinestones with hot glue, crazy glue, E6000, or whatever your favorite sticky substance is. You can use Swarovski crystals for a fancier crown. These are just really, really cheap rhinestones. I wanted to buy the Swarovski crystals so we could have like a really, really sparkly one. It would look all pretty, especially in like the intro and when I show you guys the crown, but they were all out of them when I went to the craft store. So we have these. I think they work fine and they're way cheaper, which is really nice. You can even add more tiny gems to add extra detail. You don't have to put gems just where you save those spots. Give your glue a few minutes to dry, then we're on to the final step, attaching the crown to the headband. I'm gluing right onto the headband and then pressing and holding the headband onto the crown so it wraps around it. And there you go. You'll see it's all nice and you can still bend it and so you can put it on your head, and now you just kind of need to wait for it to dry. And so that's it. That is our last step, and now you have your very own Aurora. There's a hair in my eye, or in front of my eye. Anyway, you have your own Sleeping Beauty crown, and I'd never seen anyone do this before, and so I didn't really know if it was gonna work, but obviously it did work, and I couldn't believe how cheap it was to do it. Most of the things you see out there, it's literally like, oh, we're just gonna cut a shiny piece of paper into the shape of a crown. I'm like, that to me doesn't look like a crown, but to me this does look like a crown. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed making this. If you want to see more DIYs or have a specific prop, I love making movie props. That's like my favorite thing to make. So if there's a movie prop that you want to see, tell me in the comments below what you want to make next. In fact, Halloween is coming up pretty soon. I know it's still September, but you know, I get really excited about it and start prepping way early. So if there's something you want to make for Halloween, tell me in the comments and we can maybe make that happen. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to subscribe and ring the little bell if you actually want to know when any of those are coming out, because otherwise YouTube probably won't tell you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Nip, nip, nip. That part was unnecessary because of course they're gonna see with the ingredients, not ingredients, supplies. It's not edible. Don't eat this. Don't eat the crown, just like you don't eat the gummy bears. Anyway, thank you so much. Somehow I have a feeling that's gonna wind up at the end.
This was really long.